it's a it was really a good day for us. I think we got a lot of guys from pretty high on our list, and like I said yesterday, we wanted to get defensemen because we felt we were light on that side of the depth chart, and we got a lot of good defensemen that we had high on our list. We got some size. We got a couple of forwards that had some size. So we feel pretty good right now. Actually, all the three forwards that we drafted, they're beginning of this day, they're big, and Keegan Colasar can really body check the way that you're supposed to body check in hockey, and he can score some goals too.
Jarmo, you said you didn't have to make a trade, and you ended up making 9 picks. Are you happy with staying the course? And
Yeah, that's why we get picks. As I said, we believe in drafting and developing. So now, we need a defenseman. We got a lot of these that, okay, well, let's see. It's not a perfect science, so you're never going to hit with 100% at the draft. And if you get, 30%, 40% out of it, you're doing really well. So, okay, now with 9 picks, if we can get to that, we might get 3-4 players out of this draft, and that would be a great number.
What stands out about Paul Bettner?
Well, he's a big guy. Obviously, he can skate very well. He played on a very productive line there in Portland, and even myself, I was able to see him because I went to see Oliver Bjorkstrand play, and he's an easy guy to see. He's a 6'4" winger that can skate and score and complement 2 very good players with Nick Patan and Oliver Bjorkstrand. It's not too many bad players get to play with those 2 guys when you look at the talent that they have in the Western Hockey League and the points they produced. So it was a great place for him to play, and the classic line that we were surprised that he was there when we were picking, I think applies to this, and we truly were. I mean, he was in our first round. The way we rated players, we thought that he would be worthy of a first-round pick.
How many priority 1 guys, as you call them, did you get?
We got 3. So I predicted to our guys that we're going to get 3 out of our, I think we had 21 in our priority 1, and they laughed at me, but I laughed at them at the end of the draft.
What about Gavrikov?
Gavrikov, we really liked him in World Junior. Obviously he's gone through the draft already, but captain material, captain on his club team and the national team, big guy that plays a simple, solid game and a good defender. Looks like he has a lot of leadership. Played against the best competition all the time, against the top line of every team. He was matched up against the best lines against Canada and the better teams in the World Junior Championships, and I think he was selected in the All-Star team as well. So I don't mind at all that a guy has passed through the draft. I don't even care if we like the guy. I've been involved in drafting guys like that before. David Perron in St. Louis, we drafted it, gone through the draft, and we drafted him in the first round. Some guys develop a little bit later, some guys a little bit sooner. So he's got good potential. He's going to play in the KHL next year, and next 2 years he has a contract there. That's fine. We have his rights now, and we'll see how he develops.
Are you through this aspect of the off-season in terms of reshaping your team, tweaking your team? What are your thoughts now on what you want to do between now and the start of training camp?
Well, I think I still think we have the same objective, but I've said all along, if we want to try to get a defenseman that will make our defense better, then let's get the right guy. Let's not just try to force something and try to get a body just because we feel that we have to do something. We have to. I think I said it yesterday too, that our team was pretty good at the end of the year last year for the last 15, 16 games, and we had Cody Golubev playing very well. We had Kevin Connaughton playing very well. Those guys were a solid part of our group last year, and going into the next year, that's again part of our group of defense. And this one I've said before too, that I think we'll have the best acquisition of off-season if we have a healthy Ryan Murray. I don't think anybody can do much better in any market in the off-season if he comes and plays 82 games next year.
Is he healthy?
He's healthy now, and he's getting stronger. He feels really good about it, and his knee and his health and condition. He's excited, and he obviously, we are too. He's as good of a young defenseman as there is in this league, in my opinion.
Is it harder to move forwards now without the draft pick element being involved?
No, I don't think so. I mean, everybody's always valuing futures, and now we got a lot of assets too. I mean, somebody would come to us and say, "Oh, we really like the guy you picked today, and we were trying to get him, and would you move him in a deal?" Well, let's see what the deal is. And you know, like Oliver Bjorkstrand is a great example. We could have there was a huge value if we ever wanted to part with him. Teams were asking about him in every trade that we talked about. Yeah. So that's just an example of how we drafted him in the 3rd round, and now his value is way higher than the 3rd round.
In terms of clearing up forward space for some of those young guys, is that more difficult now?
No, I don't think it's more difficult. And I think that's a great problem to have. You know, we want to get into a situation where we have guys that are too good to play in the American League. I think that's a great situation. It's not going to hurt anybody to play a little bit longer in the American League. And once you're ready, it's not just for us. Other teams are going to scout those guys and say, "Hey, this guy's ready to play in the NHL. Let's make a deal with Columbus Blue Jackets." And then we might find something else that we need on our depth chart. But the guys that are ready to play in the NHL, every 30 teams, they're all scouting those guys, and they see them play in the American League. If they're ready to play, they'll play in the NHL.
7D on one way, Falk on a two-way. If you're a player in free agency, would you have to move a player out as well, or you're not just adding a guy, you have to be?
Well, we'll see. I think the reason why we have our defense built the way we have right now is that we didn't really have that depth that would be in Cleveland next year, that would be ready to play in the NHL. You know, a certain amount of games, somebody got hurt, give us 20, 30 games. So we're planning on carrying 8 maybe. That's because that's where we can get our depth. You know, in other situations you might just carry 7 and you have 2 guys that are ready to play the 10, 20 games playing in Cleveland. But you know, you might not want to take a chance on somebody getting taken on the waivers if you're afraid of losing some of that depth. So in our case, that could mean that we're going to keep 8 defensemen.